reader fam, today I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts, opinions, and feels on WAPA! Between Worlds by Skip Brittenham. Now this video is being sponsored by Penguin Teen, but note that all my thoughts, opinions, and feels are my own. This is the story of Mayberry and Marshall, who are two misfits living in Minnesota. They're both picked on in school, and one day they've just had enough of their lives. In their town, there's believed to be this tree called the wishing tree, so the two of them venture off one day to that wishing tree, and they wish for a new life. What they don't realize is that it's gonna put them in an alternate world. And in this world, they're gonna be faced with these crazy creatures that they're gonna have to take on. So once they get to this alternate world, they realize that they might have made a mistake and they want to get back to their normal lives, and so they must fight their way back to the real world. This book was a lot of fun and it had an addictive quality to it. It's one of those books where you start reading and you just can't put it down because you're intrigued by the story. Now this story definitely wasn't one that like blew me away or anything like that, but I had a lot of fun reading it. I enjoyed my time from start to finish with this book. You start this book and you're just so curious as to how everything's gonna go down and how they're gonna get themselves out of the situation that they put themselves in. The writing itself was pretty decent, though it did have its faults here and there. I think one of the issues that I had was how I felt it was trying to be too relatable. Like it made references to the Kardashians and to Beyonce, and that just kind of felt a little bit unnecessary. I also wasn't a fan of some of the cliche high school elements that are showcased in this book. We have this really cliche popular high school mean girl, and that's just a trope that I'm kind of overseeing in books. And we also have that teacher that dismisses bullying as not a big deal, which it is a big deal. Something that I did really love about this book is how Marshall and Mayberry were described. They're described as average looking teenagers. They're not breathtakingly beautiful, and I was so appreciative of that because not everybody is stunning and beautiful, and it was just refreshing to have two characters that looked like the rest of us. Especially when in every YA book ever, every character is just described as this stunning goddess from another world, and it's like, yo, we all don't look that way. I think this book really picked up for me when we were transferred into the alternate universe and the magical abilities came into play. That's when the story just got so much more interesting to me. It just made the book like 10 times more exciting. Now, I just have an arc of the book, but I know that in the physical book there will be illustrations throughout the story, and I really wish that the arc would have had illustrations because I had a hard time kind of picturing the creatures. My arc does have a few pictures here and there, but I think having those visuals and the finished copy are going to be really nice and really helpful to like really understanding what the creatures look like and what Mayberry and Marshall are up against. Something else that I really liked about this book is that there's another storyline that's going on alongside Mayberry and Marshall's. It's introduced to you in the prologue. You'll get like a little snippet of something, and it was really interesting to see how that storyline connected to Mayberry and Marshall's storyline and how that was all resolved. I found that to be really interesting. It kind of gave Mayberry and Marshall's story more of a purpose, and I really liked that aspect. I also just really liked seeing how Mayberry and Marshall were figuring out a way to get out of this alternate world because they get transported there, and then I'm just like, okay, so how are you gonna get yourself out of here, suckers? Something that is really cool about this story is that there's an app that goes along with this book. You can go to betweenworldsapp.com and you can download an app, and it just allows you to experience this book in immersive augmented reality is what this little emblem right here says. It kind of reminds me of the app that went along with the Night Film book, but it's obviously very different because Night Film is like complete opposite to this book. Like they are nothing alike, but they both have apps, so that's kind of cool. So those are my brief thoughts, opinions, and feels on Between Worlds by Skip Brittenham. You guys should let me know down below if you have read this book and what you thought of it, or if you plan to pick this book up. Also, I want to know if you were given the chance to make a wish on a wishing tree and have the possibility of that wish coming true, what would your wish be? I think for me, my wish would be just to be able to travel the world whenever I wanted to without having to pay for it, because traveling is expensive and I love traveling. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so click subscribe if you want to be notified for when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye, chew. Hey guys, today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts. That was too soon. Too soon. Too soon.